So I'm just going to give you a quick run through on Cryptokaiju. So to give you a bit of background on myself, I've been in the blockchain space now for around about 6 or 7 years. I'm a former miner. I run CoinJournal. I don't know if anybody knows that site. And last year I began working with Known Origin on a project that looks at how we can improve provenance authenticity for physical collectibles. So we'll start off with a couple of the well-known issues. We've heard them all today. Everybody knows the issues of current forms of provenance and authenticity. Easy to lose, very easy to forge. You know, best case scenario, provenance information is stored in a centralized database. Worst case, it's just paper records. Like, it's not a great way to store this information. Classic example here, Jackson Pollock. He painted a few pictures for his mistress. When he died, his wife, or his estate, which was run by his wife, refused to acknowledge that the pieces were genuine. Again, just another issue of provenance. So I've been into all things weird and wonderful since I was in my teens, just collecting various bits of plastic tap, some of which is now worth a lot of money. Yeah, I love soft plastic toys. There's a little one on stage here. Don't know if you can see that. So with this interest, I began to speak to the guys at Known Origin. I've seen the NFT space grow. I've worked on a couple of NFTs on Known Origin myself, so we started to look at if this was actually possible for physical art, in particular, vinyl toys. So, being the first to do this, it's not like you can just read a Medium post. There's a lot of trial and error that goes into it. How do you actually make a toy unique? How do we ensure that the physical toy is the same one represented on the blockchain? How do we stop people swapping the physical provenance? And how do we actually make a toy unique on the Ethereum blockchain? So, again, there's a lot of trial and error with this. There's original versions of it where we had numbers etched into the feet. That wasn't going to work. We eventually settled on NFC technology. Don't confuse NFC and NFT, as I regularly do. So the idea was that you'd pick up the kaiju, you'd scan the foot, as we can see there, and there'd be a serial number. Problem with NFC tags, in most forms, the kind of stuff that you're going to buy off a shelf, is they can't store a lot of information. They can be easily cloned. But there are solutions to this. We work with a spin-off of Philips, who produce a NFC tag where the serial numbers are completely unique. They've got their anti-collision system in place to prevent serial numbers crossing over. The serial numbers are encrypted, so the tag cannot be cloned, and we can store a lot more information than we could before. So as you can see from this, that's just literally scanning a toy. You can see the name, Holly, which is named after my beautiful wife. The NFC ID, which is completely unique. So the other issue that we had was around the actual tag there, the kaiju tag on the left-hand side. How do we actually stop that from being removed? Because in theory, somebody could just take that off and put it on another toy, and then that toy would be represented. So to do that, we worked with another factory, and we built we basically got stickers designed that are tamper resistant. So the second you try and peel it off, it ceases to function. So how do we actually get this onto the blockchain? Like everybody else, we used IPFS for all the pretty stuff. So all the classes. So we have different traits. So particular toys have different traits, which makes them more scarce than others. Things like color. But then for the actual hardcore provenance stuff, sort of token ID, NFC ID, date of birth, which is just mint date, that's actually all stored on chain. We use some JavaScript to map the NFC ID to the token ID. Should be able to see. Can you see it here? Yes, you can. So if you look up the NFC ID there, if you look up the token ID and the NFC ID, they should match. So you can see token ID 126 there. That's and then the NFC ID is there as a hash. Okay, shit. Here's an example of it where you can see kind of everything in a very compact, well laid out form. So you can see the traits, you can see the color, you can see the actual NFC ID, as well as like the date of birth. So yeah, just we basically store all the provenance and authenticity stuff on the Ethereum blockchain, whereas the cuter stuff's on IPFS. So yeah, as I said, it was going to be really short and sweet. Sorry, it can't be any longer. Did it work? Yeah, it sold really well. We've had some great feedback. We've already had toy companies and artists getting in touch, just interested, maybe possibly collaborating in the future. We sold out in about 40 days. And the next figure, which is this guy, so this little prototype of him, will be released in March. Next steps of the project, we're going to kind of leverage the SDK, maybe add some more verification into an app. If anybody is interested in kind of collaborating, we're definitely open to the idea of possibly becoming, say, the Amiibo of Ethereum or the Skylands of Ethereum. So please get in touch. Thank you.